And if I was to downsize, how would that make me feel? What would become available for me, right? What would that mean to me? Why is that important to me? So utilizing questions and language to expand the emotion in the right or the wrong way, because as Tony teaches.
Welcome to Next Level Lifestyles, where we connect people with locations and lifestyles worldwide to help them live their very best quality of life. We are all about helping our agents and our clients get to the next level in their lives and achieve their dreams, whatever that means to them. And that being said, Ant, all I have to say is talk about complexion, okay? You just glow, right? You just bring light to people. I'm telling you. And a little brief intro on our guy, Ant DeMario over here. He's a global speaker, peak performance strategist for Tony Robbins, certified brain health coach, and TEDx alumni. He's helping people light up authentically, story, emotions, and purpose, and optimize their brain health, and thus become the architect of their life experience. Welcome to the show, Ant.
I'm grateful to be here.
Wow.
Oh, thank you for having me. You're both amazing energy, and we have the privilege to connect in various ways, and I get to watch what you're all doing and impacting and helping people create their dream life, whatever that looks like, which is so aligned with me with every thread, because it helps us wove a beautiful sweater that blankets us and chasing the dreams that make us feel awake. So I'm grateful to be here. So thank you so much. I'm super excited.
Preparation for today, because
I love it.
I just love that quote. It just means so much. It means so much. And the fact that think about it. Let's really set the scene. Oh my God, I love it. You're so awesome. But let's set the scene. She probably had that piece of paper in her pocket because it was her message that somehow got to her. And it was a message that she wanted to hold on her person, right? Whether her purse or whatever. Yeah. And it probably just, for however long she held on to that. But then think about it. She got that message and then she passed it on to you in a moment, right? And now you're passing it on to how many people?
Yeah, I never really thought about it that way too. And what a gift for me to unwrap in that moment. Because I always we have these moments of impact that really shape us. And they bring us back into different ways, and we're always being shaped by environment, people, and all these different things. So what a moment to be in that hallway at that age, to have that teacher share, like you just said, this message that was so close to her. And I don't know the story with it. So it's my moral obligation now to be so me that I give people the space to authentically show up.
Let's say you're in a condo. Yeah, a condo that fits your lifestyle, that you don't have to worry about things, and you're able to live. Or let's say you're like, should I consider a relocation? We want to help bridge the gap between people's dreams and showing them the pathways that it seems really scary and daunting and overwhelming, but we can help you get there, right? And the same thing for our agents. Right. It's like,
I think that's so important. And first, no wonder why you both are so successful. You have so much care and passion for it, which is so important. And environment is everything. And to kind of bridge it here, and then I think we should unpack fear a little bit. I think that could be super helpful.
Yes.
But to bridge it, and in my world too, environment is so crucial. I always say, set your environment for success. And to put in your world, like you said, it could be the condo, or it could be the big house, if that suits for your life. Otherwise, you're going to feel lonely in a big room, or super fulfilled in a small room, whatever it may be. I love how you define whatever that looks like to you. And I think that's exquisite. And environment, for me, it's like, if you were to come around my area, like I have books in certain places, I have pictures in certain places. And, just to bring it back into agent or to the world, is like, one thing that you have control of is, setting up your environment for success, making sure that you're giving yourself reminders so, that you feel comfortable in your space. And people like yourself, leaders like each of you, helping people create that dream space, I think is one of the most important things of anything, right? Do you like, I'm curious, any of you like roller coasters? Yeah.
So Alexa does. I'm the conservative one.
Yeah, I got Cheryl, we'll have to talk after this. But I don't like roller coaster rides. I've never been on a roller coaster ride, but I went skydiving.
Oh,
and And I, just talk about skipping the other thing. And but in that moment, I don't want to go back to the thing. I don't want to go off the tangent here. But ultimately, in the moments, like, and this will actually loop us back maybe to my message and what we all feel, is that when I was sitting on the edge of this plane that was like this big, and I'm looking at my driver who spoke broken English, and there's duct tape on this door, and you're attached to somebody, and the wind's blowing, and I'm like, I've never been on a roller coaster ride. My hair gel obviously is strong enough though, so if anybody's curious. I'm sitting there. The only thing that came to my mind was the fear of death. It wasn't that I was scared of the height. It was that, will people understand what my message is? Did I live the life that I deserve to live? Did I make that decision to move to Florida like that? Did I go do those things to get me to that next level?
And they are like, I know I have to downsize, but they just can't pick themselves up to do it or to take action. What type of advice can you give to those?
Yeah, so great question. And this is going to stretch me intellectually in a way, because it's diving into your world too. So downsize meaning they want to maximize maybe resources and explore different areas of their life. Okay, got it. So it's interesting. If for those of you that are watching, if I was to ask you two to think about that song, "We Will Rock You," don't make me sing it, and then you think about the song, you watch my hands, you can hear the beat, and it's not because this thing reacts, but it predicts. So what often happens, even if somebody knows that they want to downsize, even if somebody knows that the relationship isn't the right one they're in, it's harder to make that change at a nerve level ultimately. And how do I show up for others when I'm feeling this way? And if I was to downsize, how would that make me feel? What would become available for me, right? What would that mean to me? Why is that important to me? So utilizing questions and language to expand the emotion in the right or the wrong way, because as Tony teaches, and so many people, in order to really shift for that change, which is uncomfortable, you got to get yourself toward enough pain or enough pleasure in that moment where you say, not another moment, another day, another year, I'm deciding now. And my reverence to each of you that are watching, that you're stuck in one of those moments, because it's easy going back to the brain to stay comfortable, because metabolically it's better for your investments, right? But long term, I want you to think about this. If you were to invest in that decision today to downsize, what's the long-term payout, right? And it's going to be more fruitful. That's why exercise actually, walking is beautiful to bathe the brain in these neurotropic factors called B, D, and F. So for any of you that are in this real estate world, you're always moving and shaking. Make sure that you're always walking. And I love real estate so much because you're serving people their dream. And I think that's extraordinary. And going back to the brain, what got me there is like, I read, like, you can see this is a little piece of it, but I read a book a week. Like, I am obsessed with learning. One, because I wasn't the brightest, in the area of what I was studying in school and college. It didn't come easy to me, but it just wasn't what I wanted to learn.
That's right.
And when I started to understand that the core essence of everything is this beautiful 3-pound thinking flesh that sparks electricity, that sprays chemicals, that allows us to create our model of the world that really is the epicenter of everything. I was like, I need to learn about this beautiful pearl. And I just committed to the past couple of years. I went through the program to get certified and just understand it, because I think we're in a world where, this is Tony's quote, drowning in information, but we're starving in wisdom. And the more we can understand at a deeper level, we can help serve people. We can become more. So, understanding whatever the rewards and the rituals, whatever rituals for each of you watching, whether you're supporting your client or you're somebody that's going to buy that dream home, whatever it may be, to have those rituals in place that allow you to create the richness of life is important in so many different ways.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard someone describe the brain in such a fabulous, intriguing way, right? I mean,
yeah, it's gorgeous. And again, I'm not a scientist or a neurosurgeon, but my mentors are those people. I am obsessed because if you think about it, you have, in the way I describe it, is you have this beautiful thinking flesh that's in a vault that it's because of the senses that we capture from the external environment interoceptively allows us to predict what we need in the moment. But the way I like to describe it, we have 100 billion neurons that have all these tentacles, and they're like mini microscopic jellyfish. They float, they pulse, they spray dopamine, serotonin, and the more these jellyfish kind of communicate and bond in between that little space, they get close enough like lovers in the kiss, they don't kiss. There's synapses there, and after a while, just like a relationship, they communicate long enough, they create a new bond, and that's how we change. From 11 to 4 a.m., we have this connect to our retina, and we have this connection to this piece of the brain called our venula to actually connect to our pancreas. So from 11 to 4, really what happens if we have unnatural light, we set off a pro-depressive circuit. So we start to spike our insulin levels because of that connection. We start to feel more scattered, and if anybody's ever stayed up late, you start to maybe crave more food. You're searching how you can get that serotonin, whatever it may be, to kind of calm yourself down. So I would say it's possible, and again, reverence to everybody on this call, around 9 p.m., just start to dim the lights, right? And 11 p.m., if you can, get rid of unnatural light, phone, computer, put yourself to the ambient room, and then do the thing in the morning. I really, really strongly believe that you will start to feel 10x. And not just because I do it, or maybe some of you do it, but because the science shows. Really, really powerful stuff.
That's awesome, man. And I will say that I've actually switched my bed, my nightstand light to a salt rock lamp, a Himalayan rock lamp, because the lighting is just so much it's just so much less invasive. You can just feel the difference. It really,
100%.
Yeah. And I love that we have science to back all this. It's like we each have our own bodies and our own guts and our hearts and our minds and soul to kind of, gauge a situation, but also it's so great to hear that science backs up so many of these little rituals, right?
So many things, and it's all public, and it's, when I work on my one-on-ones, and I thank you for sharing, you did something really beautiful that no one's done, that I've had a privilege to be on a podcast for, is you, and that means you read my content and you're close to me, is that there are only three areas that I help people one-on-one, is emotion, it's story, and it's purpose. And the second quote is, in some respects, you're like most people. In some other respects, you're like some other people. But the truth is, you're like no other person. So be you, and the world needs your life. And I hope you connect with me on Instagram. You follow me, I'll follow you. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Should I get Pierre for a little act to say goodbye too? Should we say hi to Pierre?
Yes, please do.
Hey, come on in for your first podcast.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh,
how sweet.
He's like, I'm out.
He loves you.
Aww. He was so good too.
I know, you're a good little pup.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
So inspiring.
Thank you.
Take things to different levels that we haven't ever thought about. So thank you so much for your time today.